Some video games are great fun for the whole family. Other games are too weird, too dirty, or just too terrible to play in front of your parents. Make sure nobody you love is watching over your shoulder as you play any of these games. South Park: The Stick of Truth. If you know anything about South Park, you might be able to guess that any video game based on the cartoon would definitely not be safe to play around parents. But the Stick of Truth might even be ruder than the actual show it was based on. You play as the new kid, and at one point you have to sneak into your parents' bedroom when your parents are a bit busy. The game censors absolutely nothing, forcing you to sit through every one of New Kid's parents' moans and screams of ecstasy. On top of that, you can also summon Jesus to shoot your opponents with a machine gun. If all that isn't enough to sway your own interest in these games, at least save playing it for when mom and dad aren't home. And then move right on to the sequel, The Fractured But Whole, which is arguably worse. My Name is Mayo. It might be the single most pointless game of all time, if you can even call it a game. Your goal in My Name is Mayo is to open a jar of mayonnaise, which you do by clicking on the jar over and over and over. And that's it. For some reason, the jar also wears various outfits during your quest to open it. Sometimes it's knitting or rocking a guitar, while other times it's wearing a bra and panties. Look, now it's French. If you're patient enough to click the jar 10,000 times, you will successfully open it and beat the game. Congratulations, I guess. However, if your parents catch you playing this, they might start to worry about you. Duke Nukem Forever. With its fart jokes plus hot girls formula, the Duke Nukem franchise was never going to be family-friendly. But Duke Nukem Forever cranked that formula up to 11, leaving even some of the most hardcore fans uncomfortable.
Ooh, melts in my mouth and in my pants.
You can dip in my fruit salad anytime, hot pants.
The game follows Mr. Nukem in his quest to save every hot girl on planet Earth from being kidnapped by aliens, all while spouting uncomfortably sexist phrases and pickup lines.
You must make a good hero sandwich, 'cause you're giving me a foot long.
As for the actual gameplay, Duke Nukem Forever opens with Nukem peeing, followed by the reveal of him playing his own game, with the help of two girls. You definitely won't want to play this around your folks. Catherine. The box art alone for Catherine is enough to make parents wonder what you're up to. You play as a man engaged to a nice girl named Catherine with a K, while you're also being seduced by a wild woman named Catherine with a C. Catherine with a C turns out to be a nightmare succubus set on sending unfaithful men to the underworld. You'll need to climb your way out of hell, after which you'll be able to choose between the two Catherines, but you could also choose to become a space traveler instead, or overthrow the ruler of the underworld and rule it with the demon Catherine at your side. Catherine is not nearly as sexual as the box art makes it seem. In fact, it's more of a horror game than anything, but good luck trying to explain to your parents that they shouldn't judge a game by its pornographic cover. Potato Thriller. Potatoes are delicious, but there's nothing particularly thrilling about them. Until now. Potato Thriller is a horror game about a serial killer called the Potato Man, who is literally a potato.
Look at me, I am the Potato Man. I am going to deep fry all of the foods that you love, like chicken nuggets and French fries.
His victims include anthropomorphic hot dogs, dancing lemons, and the devil. It's basically Resident Evil on shrooms. In the game, you have to track down the Potato Man and escape his wrath. The setup is actually terrifying, with dark rooms, spooky noises, and jump scares galore, not to mention how unsettling the Potato Man is as a villain. It's like if Sid from Toy Story got his hands on Andy's Mr. Potato Head. It's a safe bet that your parents are not going to get into this game, and if they do, run. Soda Drinker Pro. If you enjoy soda so much that you'd play an entire game about drinking the stuff, then perhaps Soda Drinker Pro is for you. Just do everyone a favor and keep that to yourself. In Soda Drinker Pro, you drink soda. That's it. The game's only hook is where you can get your glug on. You can drink soda in the ocean, in a field, in a mouth, in the desert, on the Oregon Trail, in Antarctica, and over 100 other surreal and psychedelic locations. Whenever you finish a soda, you move to the next location. Drink every soda in every location, and you've won the game. Your parents, who probably tell you at least once a day to drink less soda, will be thrilled. Stayin' Alive. Unfortunately, Staying Alive is not a delightful romp through the disco clubs of New York City. Instead, it's a game where you can either play as old people who want to end their own lives, or their nurses who want them to live. If you play as the dusty old folks, you wheel around collecting items you can fashion into lethal tools, scoring points for every fatality. Play as the nurses, and you race to craft cures for your patient's self-inflicted ailments, scoring points for every patient you safely wheel into the sedation unit. It's the most fatal game of tag ever. If you think your aging folks can handle old people happily self-immolating, go right ahead and play this in front of them. Thanks for watching. Click the SVG icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out this other cool stuff we know you'll love too.